Which way was it on there? Oh, dude, I'm stupid. I'm like actually dumb.
Oh, hey, I smell it.
Hey everybody, my name's Jaden. I'm currently converting this 40-foot school bus into my full-time off-grid home, documenting the entire thing here on this channel. So if you like that kind of thing, make sure to hit subscribe so you can keep up with all the progress I'm making on the bus. This is episode, I think either 4 or 5 of my kind of weekly check-in series where I'm kind of going over some small projects that I've been doing around the bus for the last couple weeks, some upcoming projects, and just to keep you guys in the loop on a consistent basis. So what is it that we're going to be doing? The first and probably most important thing I need to do is make a change to my electrical system. Now, there was someone kind enough in the comments to take a look at the video that I posted on my entire electrical system wiring and fusing and putting it all together and making it work. So if you haven't seen that video, first of all, go check it out. I'll pin it. I have to remember which side it goes on. I think the pin goes on this side. I'll pin it up at the top corner for you. So you should go check that out. But they let me know that I actually did something incorrect. So thank you so much for putting that in the comments. What I did incorrectly is actually with my MRBF fuse from my positive battery terminal to the rest of my system, I actually have it on in the wrong order. So I'll go show you now, but as you can see, I have the MRBF fuse on top of the lug, which now that I'm thinking about it, makes total sense. How would it be protecting the wire if the wire gets hit before the fuse? You know what I mean? So I don't really know how I slipped up on that, but it hasn't caused any issues. But if, you know, we were to somehow get a crazy battery surge of, you know, hundreds of amps that the fuse should be protecting the wire from, it would hit the wire first regardless. So yeah, I'm going to be making that change right now. Super easy, just switching the order of the fuse and the lug and get on to the next thing. So first thing I got to do is turn everything off. Turn off my AC breakers. To turn everything off, just got to flip off these breakers here. Everything should immediately turn off if I just hit this DC isolator switch. So, yep, there you go. Well, that's pretty neat. Like I always say, I am not an expert at all. So, you know, take what I do with a grain of salt. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Well, now I feel like I'm a crazy person. Huh? Oh, dude, I'm stupid. I'm like actually dumb. Wait, really? I mean, I guess that makes sense, doesn't it? Wait a minute. Yeah, so up until like just now, I didn't even realize what that comment really meant. I just assumed I would just switch the order or something, but no. So hopefully you're able to see this. It's kind of tight in here, but basically I put the lug right here on the actual battery terminal, and when you just think about it for like 2 seconds and use any amount of logic or brain cells, you would see that, okay, well, the fuse is not actually in line at all with the cable it's supposed to be protecting. The fuse is right here. The MRBF fuse is right here, and that means that this lug should be on this bolt so that everything passes through the fuse and not just directly to the wire. So yeah, that's kind of insane. I feel like an idiot, but you live and learn, I suppose. So I'm gonna make that change right now. Thank you, strangers on the internet. Don't know what I would do without you. I flipped that around so that this little bolt right here is facing towards where I'm going to be servicing it when I need to. Instead of putting the cable on the actual battery terminal, I'm going to make sure that everything passes through this fuse, and we'll be all good here. So, okay, so now you can see that any power going out from this battery bank through the positive cable is now having to pass through the MRBF fuse first, which is like the whole entire point of a fuse. So that's cool. Put that little cap back on here, and yeah, now we should be good. I'm gonna throw everything back on. Everything is coming back to life. All right, so that's one little task down. Let's go to the next one. So the next thing I have to take care of is this window box. Now, this window box is like the perfect size. It's one of my betterly aligned. This is one of my better boxes that I built. However, there's an issue, and that is with a small leak. I don't know where it's coming from somewhere at the top, but I noticed it the other day and I was like, well, shoot. And I'm trying to remember, I'm pretty darn certain I painted this thing, or I sealed it up with some polyurethane. No, yeah, I definitely sealed it up with some polyurethane, but I guess I must have not done it very well, because there's a spot right here that has some mold and mildew on it from water getting in. So let me show you. Right down in there, yeah, that dark stuff, that is unfortunately mold. Now this window has given me problems in the past, mainly because I had a pretty large leak up here originally, and the gap was so small that I wasn't really seeing it. So I didn't see it until I was doing my framing. I looked at the top and I was like, oh shoot, that's like really moldy. So I took it out, remade it, put it back in. It was working great until now, obviously. So you can see out there, I have already constructed the box. I'm just waiting for that polyurethane to dry so I can put it on up here. Yeah, I've got that drying right now. I used a different method to build these ones compared to last time, kind of. I used pocket screws instead of using just wood glue and nails, which I, hands down, wish I would have done for all of them. It feels sturdier. It was easier to do. Anyway, I'm gonna be waiting for that window box that I made outside to dry. Then I can come in, take this whole thing apart, put the new box in, put the window back in, and we'll be all good to go there. So in the meantime, let's do something else. So the next thing I need to do is install my toilet, kind of like rough it in, I would say. Really the biggest thing with this toilet is it has an automatic 12-volt fan that you can just wire up to vent out all your smells and whatnot. But basically it's just wiring up the fan and then figuring out how to vent it. So the toilet itself, first of all, this is the Nature's Head toilet. If you couldn't tell, it's probably one of the highest rated composting toilets out there. And to be completely honest with you, kind of wish I didn't get it. And the reason for that is the price tag. The price tag is insane in my opinion. It's like $1,000 or maybe even a little bit more. And $1,000 for a composting toilet is crazy in my opinion, but what do I know? I guess what's nice about this toilet is it comes already pre-built. Obviously it has a separate solids and liquids container, so it has like your pee jug right here, and then it has a solids container right here. It's got a built-in agitator too, so it's got this little like hand crank thing that you just stick on here, and then you spin it and spins the agitator inside, which is pretty sweet. And it locks down pretty well. I'll show you the inside here too, and then you get the insides. So this is the agitator I was talking about. It looks like it's a pretty good agitator, honestly. It should be pretty easy to use. It's nice that it's on this kind of like, I don't even know what you would call this. I'm just calling it a crank, but you basically just put the crank on the side, tighten it down, and you can just start spinning away. Spin to your heart's content. And then when you want to take out your liquids, all you got to do is pull this out. It comes with a cap. You just screw the cap on. You can carry it like you're carrying the jug of milk out to your car, except it's pee, and I probably wouldn't eat cereal with it. And to take care of your solid waste, all you got to do is slide this whole head unit kind of off like that, and then you can just take the entire bucket with you and empty it into a bag or something. And then when you get back in, you're ready to secure this all down, slide it back on like this. It'll be easier to do when it's actually bolted down, and slide it back on like that, and then you're all set. There you go. Here's what the inside of the money maker looks like right here. So you got this little hatch thing that opens up for all your, solid business. Closes up nice, and then it's got this little section right here that's for your, actually you can't see that. And then it's got this little section right here for your liquids and whatnot. Really nothing crazy special. It's just a composting toilet, but it seems like it's pretty high quality. Even though I'm not really a fan of the aesthetics of it, I think it'll be good. Now, like I was saying before, this toilet also comes with a fan and a vent to vent out all your smells. It's got this little tube with this vent flange right here, and all you do is slide this tube right on there and then lead this to wherever you're going to be venting out your smells. Now, I'm leaning towards venting it out the floor, and the reason for that is if I vent it out through the floor, one, it's not going to be able to be visible, which I like, even if it's like a low profile. Like Nature's Head themselves sell they sell what they call a shell vent cover, which is essentially just made to go either on the roof or on the wall of your bus to cover up the actual vent itself. And the fact that they don't include that with the toilet is kind of aggravating, especially with the price tag on this thing, but what are you gonna do? So I'm kind of leaning towards venting this out through the floor just so I don't have to see it out there, you know what I mean? Plus it seems like it would be easier, and it's one less piece of equipment that I need, because I would imagine I just need to put a screen on it. I am, however, going to need to figure out kind of how to make a screen, or what kind of screen I want to put on this thing, because the last thing I want is some like bugs or maybe an animal to like get in from underneath the bus and squeeze its way through. That would be kind of crazy. I think that might work out pretty decently. So taking these window boxes apart is pretty easy. You just gotta unscrew all of these screws on the trim ring, and then it kind of just pops right out. Okay. The window right now to the actual wall, but yeah, look at that. So guys, this is the kind of stuff that can happen without you even being able to see. Like, I couldn't see any of that. That is nasty, nasty, nasty. No, no, no. So I'm curious to know kind of where that leakage stemmed from. Like, what was the, yeah, I don't even know. Well, I'm definitely going to be packing all around this thing full of some kind of sealant. That's for darn sure. I'm really curious to see where the water could have gotten in from. It was kind of a snug fit. A really snug fit. Wait. There we go. I really fit this one. I really fit this in there last time. What is this stuck on? It doesn't want to leave. Man, I really shoved this thing in there last time. Golly. To the naked eye, nothing is keeping it held in there. I'm impressed with myself that I could even get it in there in the first place, because this is kind of crazy. Good Lord Almighty. That was insane. Okay, well, that's off. That's nice. Where could the water have been getting into, though? It must have... I don't even know. I mean, I'm just going to be packing this thing full of sealant here this time around, but yeah, I don't know. That's really weird. Does this mean no more headaches? You can see where I put a bunch of sealant last time I was in here. There we go. Well, let's go get the window box, see if we can get that on there. It's still a little sticky. I could definitely stand to let it dry for another hour or so, but I don't know, man. I'm kind of impatient. Which way was it on there? So there shouldn't be an issue. Sacrificial block of plywood. Okay, I think we can get the trim ring now and fit her up. See, right there, man. It's like the window doesn't come far enough in for the trim ring, so it just starts pulling the trim ring harder than it's pulling the window. It's so frustrating. But what are you gonna do? You just gotta go real slow with this kind of thing. Just like that. Barely touched it. Screw snapped straight through the trim ring. So dumb, man. It's so stupid. Whatever. You win some, you lose some, eh, guys? You win some, you freaking lose some. It's kind of crazy though, because like the trim ring, the screw hole that they make is like this far away from the edge of the trim ring. So it's like, use your common sense, guy or gal who designed these. Obviously that's going to be an issue. Still though, I'm chalking most of my failures in this whole entire build up to user error because I don't know what I'm doing, but still, you know, something like this shouldn't just break. Nice, that one broke too. Cool. Sweet. Awesome. Yeah, all of these so all of these screw holes have essentially completely broken due to installing as designed. So that's cool. Really don't know what to do there. Okay, well, it's on there and the top is completely pulled to the wall, which is what I was most concerned about. Well, gang, I don't know how much of that you saw because unfortunately my GoPro has the battery life of a fruit fly, so it's on there, as you can see. New window box is on there. Had some trouble with this bottom row. Basically every single screw hole on this trim ring completely broke just screwing through them. Because they put the screw hole like this far away from the edge of the trim ring, and the trim ring is like this tiny little thin piece of aluminum. So I don't know, man, they got some Einsteins over there designing these windows. But I mean, it's on there, and really what I was most concerned about is the top being pulled tight, which it is. It's pulled very tight, and I put a bunch of sealant on top as well, so there should not be any possibility of water getting down from the top. Now, if the universe decides to reverse gravity at some point and I'm sitting over a puddle, then at that point I might have some problems. But until then, I think we're okay with the water aspect, which is what I was concerned about, of course. But yeah, good stuff from this window box. Hopefully that's the last one I ever have to do. That would be cool. Good morning. It is a new day, and I kind of woke up in a screw it kind of mood. So I'm gonna install my toilet. I think the plan is essentially just gonna be to put this down onto the subfloor and then just put a PVC pipe right up in here. I think that's gonna be the move. I don't really know, man, to be completely honest with you. So I think what I actually need to do first is run to the store, get my PVC and the properly sized hole saw, and come back so I can actually do this thing. All right, I am back, having spent way too much money yet again. But this is basically the method in which I'm using to vent. So it's just a PVC pipe with this little 45-degree elbow on it. That way it's, you know, venting out down and at an angle. So basically the order of operations is gonna go, this end is connected to the fan hole on the toilet, goes through this tube, down to this flange that's gonna be adhered down to the floor or wherever it's secured to. If it's secured to the subfloor on the box or just the subfloor in general, it's gonna be secure down there with some adhesive, and then just stick this tube right on top as it is right now, and then follow down through this tube. The other cool thing I have is this quick mesh. Yeah, this quick mesh stuff. It's like this roll of galvanized mesh, basically. So I'm gonna basically take a piece of this, wrap it around the vent opening from the bottom of the bus, and then secure it down with a hose clamp, basically so that bugs and, well, I guess bugs could technically still fit through there, but animals can't get through there, which is my main concern. I don't want any tiny little critters getting in here. That would be a bummer. My plan is to use this Loctite PL. I think this is the exact same stuff I used for my subfloor when I secured it all down with the insulation. So it's definitely really strong. That's what I'm gonna use to adhere the side of the PVC to everything that is touching going down, and then the actual vent flange to the subfloor. And then I've got this great stuff, gaps and cracks filler, just for any gaps and cracks that are still there. Make sure it's fully sealed up, and that's basically the plan. Now, somewhat of an issue has come to my mind, and that is, how am I going to do this? Basically with the flange, because the flange is quite a bit larger in diameter than the actual vent tube. So I'm definitely gonna have to drill through at least part of the base plate that I have here. And I'm realizing now I don't think I have a hole saw that is the correct size. So it's maybe gonna be a hack job, low key. So I'm gonna have to do some weird weird stuff to get this to fit, but I think the best way to do it for me first is to drill through the bottom. Probably should put a little bit more thought into this before I go drilling a hole, but I don't know. I think this low-key will work out perfectly because if my measurements are correct, if I drill up through here, first of all, there's no curvature of the actual wheel well getting in the way, so I'll be able to drill straight up, and this should be in line with where the box is still intact that I built over the wheel well originally, so should be perfect. I don't know, we won't know until we drill through, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. Okay, we're through the floor pan. I see daylight. All right, let's go check out what we got inside. Okay, so not exactly the desired outcome that I was hoping for, unfortunately, but I think it'll still work just fine. The unfortunate bit is the flange. Now the flange is gonna be a pain in the butt. The actual pipe will fit just fine once I cut out a little bit of this plywood right there. But yeah, it's kind of gonna be a pain in the butt for sure. Man, if I would have just, I don't know if I would have had enough room, honestly, to get it all the way over here. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, let's figure this out, I guess. Well, okay, then I decided to just take off the entire plate here that I had covering up this framing lumber and insulation, and I think that's gonna work just fine. Now, the only problem I'm gonna probably be facing is the whole flange situation, because obviously, looking at that, you can clearly see that that big old flange is not gonna fit. Here's the flange I have. Clearly, clearly that's not gonna fit. So what is going to happen? I don't really fully know, because this is gonna fit. Oh yeah, that's gonna be so good. That's gonna be money. Okay, now honestly, this isn't the ideal situation, but I think if I just use some of that same PVC adhesive or some kind of adhesive in here, this fits perfectly. It's nice and tight. I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. And then I can just drop it straight through and call it a freaking day. Forget the flange. I don't like this flange anyway. It's ugly. Yeah, this is what I'm doing. Got the good old purple primer. I don't have a chamfer tool, so I'm not gonna be chamfering anything. Holy God. Okay. Okay. Right on, yeah. What? Holy crap! Okay. Okay, you gotta be like some kind of superhuman to open this stuff. Come on! Okay, never thought I'd have to do this, but I have to Google how to open this can. I just read something on Reddit. This guy was like, to open the OD purple primer, I take my channel locks, hit the top. I don't have channel locks, bro. Why don't I have channel locks, you ask? Haven't needed them. And I didn't think the first time I would need channel locks would be to open a can of primer. Oh my God, come on, man. Okay. I saw somebody say they hit this thing a few times. Is that? Is that the move? I'm just gonna, I mean, that worked, but I'm just gonna say that's the stupidest thing probably ever. All right, we're back in business. So stupid. Man, I don't know how toxic this stuff is, but it smells pretty freaking toxic. Get the inside of that nice and coated. That was the hardest thing ever to open. Pickle jar times a billion. Okay guys, clearly I don't know anything about plumbing because I assumed that the purple primer just stuck the pipes together. Is that not true? Okay guys, I guess I'm stupid. I assumed that the purple primer was an adhesive. Wait a minute. I mean, apparently according to the internet, this is not an adhesive or a glue, so it doesn't hold pipes together, but I don't know, man, that seems to be holding this pipe pretty freaking well together. So I don't know what the internet's on about. It's working. whatever, it's just to vent out my poop smells, so it's all good. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a whole bunch of that Loctite stuff kind of around this, shove it up through that hole so it adheres to all the insulation and whatnot, and I can come back up and put the hose on. Hopefully you guys can see it poking out of there. I think I made it long enough. Unfortunately, I believe I made it too short. Well guys, unfortunately I cut that too short, so I can't actually make it work with the length I have, and I can't get that elbow off because that purple primer really stuck to it. So I'm gonna run back to the store. I forgot a couple things anyway, so it's probably a good thing. Go back to the store, get another elbow, and come back and try that again. But I think this is gonna work pretty well. All right, take two, got my other elbow here. Alrighty, hopefully that is long enough this time. There we go. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Uh-oh, it's slipping. Okay, and I think if I just keep all that stuff wedged there, fill it in with some gaps and cracks, I think that's pretty money. That is not easy to get in there. Surrounding this thing in foam, it's not really easy to get it back behind here. So as previously stated, I have already spliced in the supply wire for the actual fan for the toilet into the supply wire for my hot water heater. So that's ready to go. And I'm gonna wait to mount it until I finalize where I actually wanna have it sitting permanently. Right on there like that. Pretty stinking easy. Literally all I need to do is plug in this adapter, since I already have this all wired up here. Plug this adapter in, put the fuse back in my fuse block, and we should have some airflow coming out of the fan, so I'm gonna go do that now. Like I said, it's an incredibly weak fan, so we gotta open this up to look at it to see if it's blowing. It is indeed blowing here. I'll put the mic close to it so you can hear it, because you can't see it really. Can you hear that? So we've got airflow. Now I guess we gotta go downstairs and see if we can feel some air coming out of there. It's like the slightest airflow imaginable, but I do feel air coming out, so that's something. Now I can't really get my face up close to it, but I wonder if you're able to hear. I wonder if you could hear any airflow there. Okay, now for a real test, because we're really concerned about this venting out smells. So I have this Joe Malo London cologne that I've had for like a million years. I'm gonna spray it into the solids hatch, close up the solids hatch, and see, one, if I can smell it within the bus, and then two, whether or not I can smell it being vented out through the vent. Let's check it out and give it some. Got to give it a lot of good spritz, because it's kind of a low-key fragrance, you know what I mean? And I'll spin the agitator to get the air flowing too. Okay, I can kind of smell it when the seat is lifted, when I'm like right here, kind of. Okay, I can only really smell it if I lift up the toilet seat and put my face right next to the solids hole. So let's go out and see if I can smell it coming out of the vent. Okay, let's, oh, jeez.
Oh, hey, I smell it. I smell it. That's nice.
It's nice because it's cologne and not what it's meant to vent out.
But you can best believe this is the only time I'm ever gonna be doing this. Nice. Okay, well, that's cool, it works. Sweet.
So the last thing I need to do is put that mesh screen on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and wait probably until tomorrow, honestly, so it is fully cured and I don't have to keep this thing wedged in place like this, but I'm gonna chalk that up as a success. Well, hey now, we got some stuff done, didn't we? We replaced that window box, made it way better, installed this toilet, got the venting situation figured out, which is pretty sweet, and we fixed the fusing issue with my battery bank. So pretty productive weekend, I should say. So anyways, that's gonna cut it for this video. I really appreciate y'all watching. If you like this kind of thing and you want to keep up with my progress on the bus from start to finish, I am documenting the entire thing here on YouTube. So make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.